So these days, a lot of arrows are pointing towards owning your own business, but let's be honest, it can be really scary. So joining us today to tell us some steps that we can take, we have Dom, Falsett, executive coach and leadership speaker.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good
Thanks for
morning.
joining us.
How are you?
Good. It's been a great show. It's been a nice, busy, upbeat show, and you're continuing with the theme. You're a very upbeat guy.
Try to be.
Yeah. So I want to talk about something I saw on your website.
Okay.
On the front page, you asked the question, if somebody handed you $100 million, would you leave your current job? So I want to ask people that are watching this right now, if you had $100 million, think about it. Would you leave your current job? Oftentimes the answer is yes. So we don't need to settle for the workplace we're in right now, right?
Correct.
There's other options.
Always.
Okay,
Always.
so what are some of these steps we can take to own our own business?
For myself, so I've been self-employed now for a total of 2 months.
Oh, okay.
And there's all kind of analytics and statistics and utilizing, you know, kind of your college experience on what I need to do to move out there, but that usually keeps people from moving. And what I have found, I'm prior military ex-cop, and there's a lot of having to have dealt with PTSD and things along those lines. Yeah. Before one jumps out on their own, they should probably come to terms with things that could potentially emotionally hold them back. Okay. Right? Because that life gets good, but when you're self-employed, a lot of times your valleys are a lot lower than they would be if you're working for somebody else.
Yep. Because you're the one that's in charge for that, you know,
right.
So you're the one in charge of your happiness, so there's a lot of mental work you have to do on that. Come to terms and rectify your past hurts.
Right.
What is that about?
So coming to terms, that kind of segues into what we just talked about. Understanding that, okay, maybe as a child I got teased, and you haven't rectified it for 20 years. Well, when you become self-employed, there could be somebody that says something that clicks to you and causes you to be adverse and totally mess up that one relationship that's needed to move forward, and being willing to bet on yourself. Okay. So many of us nowadays we do this thing where we ask all these questions to get validation from society about what we're going to do. But we just need to be willing to, you know what, it's my intuition, I'm going to make it happen and make mistakes along the way. That's great.
Great advice, because that's one of the hardest parts, I think, is kind of those insecurities. They creep in.
We all have them.
Yes, and you're trying to make that personal connection to get you business, and it all falls on your own shoulders.
Yes, it does.
So I also want to talk about falling on your own shoulders. You have a support system.
Right.
Who do you share these business ideas with?
We all do this thing where we share the ideas with people that we know are going to give us the answer we want to hear. But what I have found is that if you share the ideas with that person or two people in your circle that you know are the naysayers, even though it may not be the information you want to hear, it's going to be the information that's needed, because at the end of the day, you're going to get that adverse or potentially negative feedback down the road. So it's better to get it from somebody you know, and you know what it feels like, kind of thicken your skin, and then move forward along the way. That
makes total sense. So you say, tell people your business ideas that are going to approve of it and are going to go against, so you can get out of the way. And also, it can fuel you. You know, we've all had that moment where somebody says, you're not going to succeed, and you're like, watch me.
Oh, watch me go.
Watch me do it.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about your book. Earlier this week, you had a training event. Did you get a lot of good feedback from that?
I did. Man, that was the first Think React Lead event thrown. We did it. It went well. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, a whole lot from it.
So you learned a lot.
Oh, man, yes.
Okay, so you learned a lot teaching other people a lot of things. That's great. Are we going to see any more of these in the future?
Yes, yes, you will. I'm working on one now, and we'll have the location down the road.
Great. Well, great advice. You talked about the mental aspect of it, and that is half the battle, if not a little bit more. So thank you so much. Go on thinkreactlead.com for more information. Check out the book. Check out this guy. He has videos. Very inspiring. Dom, thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Stay with us on Arizona Daily Mix.